Hello, my sewing friends. Let's talk about shift dresses.
Woohoo!
I'm Jen, and this is my sewing room, and I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite styles, which is the shift dress. I wear these things all the time. They are a staple in my wardrobe. I have actually some I was going to purge, and I didn't want to let go of them. So I still have them. And I thought, because they are such a summer staple, and I know here in the US, we're kind of coming to the end of summer, but we all know that August and September are really hot. So if you wanted to put one together, because they're really fast, you could easily do that before the end of summer, and then you're all ready for next summer. And down under, you're just coming into summer. So yet another great opportunity to make an easy dress that's comfortable, and I just can't say enough good about them. So let me tell you about shift dresses. First of all, what is it? It is very simple in design. It is just a dress, usually scoop necked, usually sleeveless. Can you tell that I'm wearing one? And they fall straight down from the shoulders. There is no shaping other than maybe bust line shaping. But pretty much they're just straight up and down. They fit very loosely. So they might follow your curves a little bit. They might flare out a little bit at the hemline into kind of an A-line shape, but for the most part, in the truest, purest sense, in terms of definitions, they just fall straight down. Sometimes they are called an A-line dress or a skimmer dress. Actually, if you think of a t-shirt dress, that's basically what it is. And designers have taken the basic concept and embellished it, changed it up, done all kinds of things to it. But for the most part, it is very minimal in its design, and it fits loosely. It just falls straight down from the shoulder line. So let me give you some examples of what it is not. It is not a sheath dress, although it's often confused. A sheath dress is kind of like a wiggle dress. It's usually got like fisheye darts in the front and the back, bust line shaping, fits close to the body, kind of shows off the figure. That's a sheath dress. It is also not a trapeze dress, although a trapeze dress is kind of a variation on the theme, because a trapeze dress flares out from the armhole. And it kind of goes like this, and it's a tent dress, basically. It is not anything with a bodice that stops here and then a separate skirt. Not separate, but a dress that stops there and has a seam at the waistline or at the empire waistline or anything like that, because that breaks up the line, and so it's not straight up and down. Any other dress that is fitted close, like a knit dress that's a bodycon dress, that is not a shift. Let me give you a little bit of history about the shift dress. In the 1920s, women had just gotten the vote, at least here in the US, and I think also in the UK, other parts of the world. And because of that, women were kind of getting more independent, and they stopped wanting to be confined to the style of fashion that had been popular up to that point. So, very tight-fitting corsets and skirts that were tight and the whole thing. They just said, no, we want to be comfortable. We were more interested in being comfortable than we are in all, kinds of fuss. The flapper dresses of the 1920s were kind of the precursor to the shift dress, in that they went straight up and down. They fell straight down from the shoulder line, but they also had a dropped waistline. Now see, the skirt was not flared, it wasn't gathered, nothing like that. And so that's why I call it the precursor, because although you did have that seam line of the dropped waist, and it did break it up a little bit, it was still kind of the column a column dress. That's also kind of a variation on the theme of the shift dress. Fast forward through the 1940s and all that fabulous fashion, and the 50s, same thing, into the 1960s. And Balenciaga and Givenchy both jumped on the shift dress kind of bandwagon in that they brought it back. Lily Pulitzer built her whole empire on the shift dress, and she was good friends with Jackie Kennedy. And so Jackie Kennedy wore a lot of her dresses, which popularized them even more. Mary Quant in the UK was shortened them to mini length and color blocked them all out. And so you saw a lot of that kind of thing. Also in the 1960s, designers started kind of making an A-line dress, which was, again, a variation on the theme in that it had back darts. So it had a little bit of back shaping, but for the most part, it came straight down, bust darts, and a little bit of an A-line flare at the hem. So that's some history. I have a lot of patterns in my stash, and a lot of them are shift dresses. So I'd like to show you some of those. So have a look. Let's start with Butterick 3012. This is from 1964. And it does have a collar, so no scoop neck. And you can also do a two-piece dress with this, but it's kind of 1960s shift dress. From 1967, I've got Simplicity 6997, which has the back darts, and it has a couple of sleeve variations, but you can see it's a shift dress with just bust darts in the front. From 1969, I've got Simplicity 8259, which is a tunic and a dress and a pair of pants and back dart shaping, but not in the tunic. So again, you know, you've got that classic thing coming down with the A-line, but the back dart shaping. So it's got a little bit of, you know, it pulls in a little bit, but not much. From 1970, Simplicity 8882. This, same thing, French darts in the front, back darts in the back, and a big bazillion mile long zipper. Also from 1970, Simplicity 9221 of this has a center front seam. Back darts, back zip, but it kind of falls straight down. It's that variation on the theme. So this is more like an A-line dress than a shift dress, but still it does not fit close to the body. Also from 1970, Simplicity 8682. This is probably closer to the traditional definition of a shift dress, but it's again an A-line dress with some back fisheye darts and just a bust dart in the front. And this has sleeves, and I guess that's all. It does not have a scoop neckline. It has a jewel neckline, but yeah, I would still call this a shift dress. From 1973, Simplicity 5513 is the cutest little pattern. Isn't this cute with those pockets? Classic shift. It does not have the scoop neck. It has a little Peter Pan collar, which makes it so cute. And it does have back darts. So a little bit of shaping going on there, but not much. Still falls away from the body. Very simple dress to wear. Simplicity 6215 is from 1974, and this has a little bit of a different shoulder detail. But again, falls straight down, is not close to the body. Pretty much, I would call this a shift dress. From 2008, this is a dress that I've made actually, and I love. New look 6779, and you can zhuzh it up with a lot of color blocking or just leave it plain. Now this has a yoke going across the top, but you can see it still falls straight down, even though it's got that line right there breaking it up. But it doesn't break it up in such a way that it pulls it in or you know, breaks the line. It's kind of like those 1920s flapper dresses where it still goes straight up and down and does not fit close to the body. From 2014, new look 6263. I've also made this too, and you can tell it's got a little bit of a different neckline, but again, falls straight down. There you go, shift dress. From 2019, I've got new look 6626, and that little peasant blouse kind of looking dress is the one I'm talking about. And I have this ready to cut out, and it's knit, so it does not have any darts, and it doesn't have a scoop neck because it's got that drawstring neckline and a cap sleeve. But you know, there you go. It's pretty much of a shift dress. From 2021, I have Butterick 6859, and you can see there's a shift dress in there. Yeah, pretty simple, just your basic, falls straight down, doesn't it? It's almost like a t-shirt dress, but it does have that raglan sleeve with a little bit of interest. Butterick 6600 from 2021 is a t-shirt dress. So that would be a shift, wouldn't it? Yeah. From 2002, McCall Stitch and Save 3480. Boy, that is a classic shift. I've made this one too, and it's really cute. Easy to wear too. Love those patch pockets. And from 2022, I've got Simplicity 9615. This is a tough call. It's kind of a trapeze dress, kind of not, but it falls straight down from the shoulder. So I would call it a shift dress. From 1969, I've got Simplicity 8498, and then I've got the reprint of it, which is Simplicity 3833, and this is from 2007. And now this one is a tough call. It looks like a shift dress, but it's got a little bit of shaping at the top, as you can see in the one on the right that's color blocked. So your guess is as good as mine. It looks like a shift dress, it falls like a shift dress, but it does have that shaping in it. So technically, maybe not, but yeah, I think designer's license here. And from 2016, I've got another vintage reprint. This is Simplicity 8049, and truly a departure. This is a wrap dress, but look at the way it falls. It wraps around, but once you get it wrapped, you know what? It's a shift dress. It goes straight down from the shoulder, and it's got a little bit of a shaped neckline, and also it's sleeveless. So yeah, once again, designer's license, I guess. I also have a couple of patterns that I picked up recently at the McCalls Patterns sale. I have McCall's 8402, which is a vintage 1960s reprint, and it has no back dart shaping. It only has just straight up and down, a couple of bust darts. And then I also have McCall's 7408, which also has a little bit of a different neckline. And of course, you know, when you talk about a variation on the theme, you have collars, you have a higher neckline, you have sleeves, all kinds of things like that. But McCall's 7408 has a long kind of notched neckline, and yet bust darts, and that's it. So qualifies as a shift dress, I think. So that's all about the shift dress. And greatest thing to wear in the summer because it's cool, it's comfortable. If you put the back darts in, it can be beautifully shaped without grabbing you. So I love them. I think you should give them a try. So let me know in the comments if you do. Let me leave you with one of my little prayer cards from Psalm 103:12. He has removed our sin as far as the east is from the west. Well, first of all, the east and the west never meet. They never meet. They keep going. They pass each other, but they keep going. So how amazing is it to have a God that has separated us from the things that separate us from him that far? It's unending. He has no memory. So if you ever think you have to be good enough for God, think again. He has forgotten all of the stuff that separates you from him. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.